Have you ever found yourself standing before a half-closed door, heart pounding in anticipation, glimpsing the soft glow of promise from within? Yet every time you reach out, the door quietly, almost imperceptibly, that slips shut. There's a certain ache in the pursuit of love that feels always just out of reach. You sense connection, warmth, possibility. But the moment you move closer, the light fades, and you are left with the echo of footsteps moving away. This pattern, these drawn-out moments of longing, can leave you wondering why your heart keeps seeking those who are never truly there for you. It is a painful mystery, one that we carry in our bodies and our breath. The unanswered messages, the quiet silences, the subtle emotional distance, they become a familiar rhythm. You might find yourself recalling 1,000 little moments, the way someone's eyes seemed to invite you in, yet always kept a secret. The gentle tone of a voice that soothed your nerves, but never truly revealed what lay beneath. In these encounters, beneath the surface of every conversation, there is a distance you can never cross. You know it by its shape. The empty space in the middle of a crowded room, the invisible wall in the midst of laughter, the ache in your chest when you're lying next to someone who feels miles away. Carl Jung, the wise pioneer of the soul, once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." We do not love randomly. The heart, though wild, is not reckless. We are drawn to familiar patterns, archetypes etched deep within the psyche, stories that repeat themselves through generations, images reflected in the cracked mirror of our childhood. Sometimes, when we look at ourselves in the glass, we see only half a face, part in light, part in shadow, flickering softly between what we know and what we cannot name. If you find yourself irresistibly drawn to men who are distant, emotionally unavailable, it is not a flaw in your character. It is a pattern, a mystery that traces back to an early wound. Perhaps, long ago, you grew up in a home where affection was conditional, where the air was heavy with words unsaid. Maybe your father, though present, was emotionally absent, his love like rain behind a window, always visible, never felt. Maybe your mother was too busy to listen, her own heart burdened with silent storms. Or perhaps your world was shaped by the subtle message that love must be earned, that closeness is a privilege, not a birthright. In these early places, we learn the shape of longing. We learn to wait, to hope, to reach for what is just beyond our grasp. A child sitting alone by a rain-streaked window, hands clasped tightly, dreams of warmth and connection, but comes to equate love with absence, with longing, with the quiet ache of scarcity. These memories, blurred and faded, become the backdrop for our adult relationships. We find ourselves searching for what is familiar, not what is truly nourishing. The soul gravitates toward the echo of its earliest songs. The hardest part, truly, is not to stop loving those who aren't ready. The heart is generous, resilient, endlessly hopeful. The hardest part is sitting with yourself, facing the part of you that learned to equate love with waiting, with uncertainty, with the slow drip of hope in a desert of longing. It is a quiet reckoning, a gentle confrontation with your own shadow. In the stillness, you notice the ripples in the pond after a single drop of water falls. The way pain spreads, the way light reflects and refracts. The way you have learned to be patient in the presence of absence. But there is another way. Healing begins not with judgment, but with radical self-acceptance. Shadow work, as Jung taught, invites you to look gently at the parts of yourself you have hidden away. The longing for emotionally unavailable partners is not a curse. It is an invitation to understand yourself more deeply. When you sit with your pain, when you breathe into the places that ache, you begin to teach your nervous system something different. Little by little, you can whisper to yourself that safety is not a trap, that love does not have to be earned through suffering, that warmth can stay without conditions, without needing to be chased. This is not an overnight transformation. It is a slow unraveling, a gentle unfolding of old stories. Imagine sunlight breaking through dense forest leaves, scattering golden rays across the moss and earth. With every breath, with every act of self-compassion, you learn to let go of the belief that love is scarce. You begin to see that the patterns you have repeated are not your destiny. They are simply unfinished stories waiting for you to write a new ending. You may find as you journey inward that your heart softens toward itself. The child who once waited by the window is still within you, longing to be held, to be seen, to be loved without conditions. Give her your attention. Let her know that love is not a transaction, not a prize to be won. Love is presence, tenderness, the gentle touch of sunlight on your skin. The nervous system, once wired for survival, can learn to trust. The heart, once bruised by longing, can learn to rest. As you practice this radical acceptance, you may notice the world shifting around you. Relationships begin to feel different. The old pull toward emotional unavailability starts to lose its grip. You become more attuned to what is truly nourishing: kindness, openness, reciprocity. You realize that the doors you once stood before, half closed and mysterious, are no longer the ones you wish to enter. You turn away, not in anger, but in peace. You choose another path, one with doors wide open, welcoming you with light and warmth. This journey is deeply personal, often solitary, but never truly alone. The archetypes that live in your unconscious, the wounded child, the hopeful lover, the fierce protector, are all parts of you, longing to be integrated, to be seen in their fullness. Shadow work does not mean banishing your pain. It means inviting it in, sitting with it, listening to its story. In doing so, you discover treasures hidden in darkness. Resilience, empathy, wisdom. You learn that the patterns you have repeated were once your survival strategies. They kept you safe when the world felt dangerous. Now, as you grow, you can thank them for their service and gently let them go. Self-reflection is not always easy. It requires courage to look at your own heart and see the places where you have abandoned yourself. It asks you to notice when you are reaching for someone who cannot hold you and to ask yourself why. It invites you to meet your own gaze in the mirror, to acknowledge the longing in your eyes, and to offer yourself the compassion you have always given to others. Radical self-acceptance means saying to yourself, I am worthy of love that stays. I am worthy of connection that is mutual. I am worthy simply because I exist. As you walk this path, healing happens in the smallest moments, the way you speak to yourself in the quiet of the morning, the way you honor your boundaries when someone asks for more than you can give, the way you choose to rest, to nourish your body, to surround yourself with people who truly see you. Each act of self-love is a brick in the foundation of a new life. You are building a home within yourself, a place where you are always welcome, always safe. It is important to remember that your attraction to emotionally unavailable men does not define you. It is a symptom a signal, a gentle nudge from your unconscious asking for your attention. When you listen to it, when you honor its wisdom, you begin to write a new story. You become the author of your own fate, no longer directed by invisible patterns, but guided by conscious choice. Sometimes the world will still present you with half-closed doors. Sometimes the old ache will return, whispering of love just out of reach. But now you have the tools to pause, to breathe, to ask yourself what you truly need. You have the wisdom to recognize when a relationship is nourishing and when it is simply repeating an old wound. You have the strength to turn away from what does not serve you and to walk toward what does. This is the healing journey. It is not linear, not perfect, not without setbacks. But each step forward is a victory. Each act of self-compassion is a revolution. Each moment of radical acceptance is a gift, not only to yourself, but to everyone you love. The patterns you heal within yourself ripple outward, touching the lives of those around you, transforming the world in quiet, profound ways. At the end of this path, you stand in a bright, open field, your silhouette blending with the sunlight. The doors before you are wide open, waiting for you to enter. You are no longer defined by longing, by scarcity, by the pursuit of what cannot be held. You are defined by your courage, your softness, your willingness to love yourself fiercely. So, the next time you find yourself drawn to someone who cannot meet you where you are, pause. Breathe. Remember the child within you, the stories you have carried, the patterns you are ready to release. Offer yourself the love you have always sought from others. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are enough. The journey is ongoing. The healing is constant. And every step you take is a testament to your strength. You are rewriting your story, one moment at a time, choosing love that is open, available, and true. The light inside is not behind a closed door. It is within you, shining softly, ready to illuminate a new way forward.